We swing you around. Move over here, otherwise you're going to be looking at the back of my head. And I probably will use a 1/2-inch cutter to cut that. After all that, I might cut away all that calculating. If you make it to the drawing, put the tooling holes in first. Square it up and then put the tooling holes in. Otherwise you're going to end up like me, chasing your tail. You know, I could just go ahead and put the tooling holes in, and then they got to be put in anyway. Maybe I should just go ahead and do that. Yeah, there'll be 3/16 holes. Well, since I got it scribed, I'll go ahead. I will go ahead and cut them down. And I could actually load them both up. Which has got the cleaner mark. This one here. So I can see it. Well, actually I can turn this one around so both the marks, I can see both of them. Alright, we're going to get a 1/2-inch cutter. I'm going to put these drills away for now. Spot roll away. $190. All right, 1/2-inch for a 1/2-inch. Yeah, all I have decent are 2 feeders over here. See, a 1/2-inch. Well, I'll use a 2-footer. Don't even think about putting it in a drill chuck. Don't ever think about putting an end mill in a drill chuck for milling. That's a no-no. In my shop, it's a no-no. Reason is an end mill's hard all the way back, and if that slips in there, it'll wreck your drill chuck. And drills are not hard all the way back. Drill is Jomny end quenched, which means it's quenched from one end. One end is hard, and then as it goes back on, and as it goes up on the shank, up on the drill, it gets softer and softer. That's why if you've got a real short drill, it's not near as good as the original drill because it's softer now. Now it can't drill as hard of a material as it used to, as it did when it was new. Unless you quench it, heat it up, and I'm not sure, you know, well, it depends on what the material is. And because when stuff is Jomny end quenched, it's only quenched on just the end, and so this end is, you know, the cooling solution or whatever is ran across that, and it gets hard out in the end, and it gets softer as it goes up. That's the way drills are made. Most drills. There are exceptions. Okay. Put your jabber and then let's go. Make some chips. And I'm not going to take it all in one cut. Taking her up to the scribe line now. Right there. Okay. There we go. Now we need to do a counter bore on the back side. And I'm thinking of how I want to do this. I can go ahead and put a drill through it. I think what I'm going to do is put a drill through it and line it up and then do the counter bore. Okay. Drill check. That's why I left it laying there, huh? Yeah, right. Okay. Now, put a countersink in there. Well, I'll just grab my deburr tool here. Deburr that hole. There we go. All right. We're getting close. We're getting close to here. Right. So now what we want to do, we want to do a counter bore through there. I wonder if I can use my number 10 counter bore tool. I think so. I think that'll work. Although that diameter I would like a nice finish in it because that has to ride that in there. I'm just thinking here of how I'm going to do that counter bore. And what size I'm going to do that counter bore. I think I'm going to do that counter bore at a 3/8. So I'm going to get a 3/8 boring end mill, which is different than a regular end mill. If I can find one. .5/16 boring end mill. I'm looking. And I'm still looking. I don't use them very often anymore, so they're kind of scattered in my toolbox here. I've got other things laying on top of them, which isn't good either. No, I've got one here that's close to what I want. Not quite right. Here. This one's just a reground end mill. It got thrown in there. Well, I might have to cut away here and do some hunting. I think I'll cut away here and round up an end mill, or boring end mill. Okay. I found the end mills I'm going to use. And what I'm going to do to lock this part in, or locate this part, I'm going to stick the drill in. And drill chuck. This will located on X, not on Y. It should already be at the right number. So I'm going to bring that down a little more. Like I say, that's loading it on X. All right. And that's all we're going to do with the drill chuck. We'll take the drill chuck out of there. Put a 3/8 collet in for my boring end mills. We'll take the small one. Take the small one first. Lock that in. We'll shift to low. We'll come down and touch. Turn my stop up. Turn my pull stop up. Why is it looking funny? Alright. Then we're going to crank the knee up 200. 1, 2. It's supposed to be 400 thou deep, and we're doing half, so it's 200. And now we'll go ahead and plunge that in there. Okay, that's 200 thou deep. Now we'll put the other end mill in. Plug that in. Bring it down to touch. Crank that up again. Okay. Then crank the knee up 200. 200. And we're ready to go. There we go. Done. All right, we'll do the other one off camera here, and then we'll set up and do. I think we'll set up and do the tooling hole that I should have done right away, and we'll set up and do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put them both in, because there's actually two of them, so you can move it around on your. We'll think about it, but I'll get one in put in for sure. So I'll be back when we're setting up to do that tooling hole. Okay, I'm setting up to do the tool. I gotta lower you down. Oh. And get you on the right spot here. Right. So I've got it in there on some parallels. I got to put a stop here so that we can do them both. So looking for my Allen wrench here. Found it on the floor. And this will be 3/16 holes, clearance holes, and then we're gonna put 3/16 threaded holes in the compound slide also. So we want to pick up that back edge first. Half-inch collet in there. Edge finder. My go-to edge finder. All right. Come in here until we touch. Right there. And we'll go in 100 for the edge finder. Right there. And now that was, we're setting like this. We're going to do this hole right here. So 875, 437.5. Right. We're going to go in 437 and 5/10. Right there, lock Y. That looks good. Now, okay, X over. Push my quick change over against that. Come down. Then crank her over until she touches. Right there. 0 by X. Go 100 for the edge finder. 0 it again. And this one was 725, I believe, that divided by 2. And yep, 725 divided by 2. What was that number? Still on my phone? Nope. Point. 725 divided by 2. 362. Crank her over 362. I could actually do both holes with this one setup, I think. If I drill this one, I can just flip it like that and drill that one. Correct? Yeah, because it would be coming off of this side. Think about it. Making things complicated, just go ahead and set it up. To the other side. Okay. Now I want a center drill. This is the right drill that I want. It's 190. It's the same as the stud that's going through there. And now I want a center drill instead of a spot drill. Okay. Take that parallel out of there. It's become my favorite parallels now. The ones that I got from Mike, they have fastly become my favorite, my go-to parallels. And see how it's magnetic? I'm going to get rid of that. I've got, if you have, I know I've mentioned it before, but if you have an old induction motor laying around, like something that you're not using anymore, well, you can use that for a demagnetizer. You just plug it in and run my drill across that a couple times. Doesn't pick up anything anymore. Demagnetized. And plus you could take the whole thing and put it right down on your vise. It takes a while to do a big vise, but it will do it. It just takes a little bit. And the parallels, it works good on the parallels, so that the chips aren't sticking to it. And this was an old fan motor, box fan motor, I think. No, what was it? Oh no, this was a water pump. This was a water pump out of my pond pump. The propeller or the impeller. Anyway, that went to heck on it, but this was still good. So I go, well, what can I use that for? Well, demagnetizer. It works really good. It works really good, especially for end mills, drills and stuff. Works great. Works excellent. Okay. Ta-da! And brush, my brush. Now the other one should go right about there. So if I turn it like that and come down, it'd be wrong. Alright. So what happens if I turn it like this? I can't. I'll set up and do the other side, or the other one. If I put it together. parallel end. Get the other one. Run the file over a little bit. There we go. And then we set like that. Center drill. Drill. I drilled that last hole all the way through without looking on the drill. Oh, no parallel out of there. I don't think I'd be able to dig that parallel, but it would kind of raise havoc with my drill. Means it's a tool bit. All right. So now, the other hole is supposed to be right here. So if I turn that like that. Yeah, I think that'll work. So if I turn it like that, so they're straight across from each other. That's right. I knew I could figure out how to get it undone with just one set. Telemarketer's been busy today. Telemarketer scammers. You can't really call them telemarketers because they're scammers. The second hole, all that does is allow you to a little more positioning on your lathe. You can just, you know, you can, if you got it on there, you can move it. All right, what's going on here? Right. It was rocking a little bit, I don't know why. Rocking and rolling. It's actually a pretty decent day outside. I should actually be out shingling. If you get your drill that bounces like that, turn your stop on and just let that drag. It'll take care of that. Okay? Every now and then I'll get one that bounces like that. And you just drag your stop a little bit and put a little pressure on it, it'll take care of that. It doesn't do that. Two more holes in each one, and for the height setting pin, and these will be done. The main body will be done. Alright, so we're done with this drill. Do not need any more. That back. I'm going to take that out of there. Close the vise and move it in. And then I'm going to do some countersinking. Countersink tool in. And a little more. Let's do the bottom side first, where that's the biggest burr. And shift to low. Go. Put that away. And run the file over a little bit again. So now